Good evening, Facebook family and friends. I'm Cathy Novicky with Champions Over Cancer, and today is day 59 of my 90-day Facebook Live. I am so excited because tomorrow will be day 60. I cannot believe how fast this 60 days tomorrow has gone. It's like boom. All of a sudden it's day 60, and it does become a habit. When you know what you're going to talk about, it's easier. So tonight you notice my title is, I should say, so today is day 59 before I say anything else. So I hope that that there are people that are listening, that this will reach them and give them some perspective, and visit the Champions Over Cancer Facebook page and our website to see what we are doing, what we are building for cancer-free patients. I believe, as I've said before, that this is a community, a population of the cancer spectrum that is being I don't want to say underfed, but just underappreciated. How's that? And there are many facets to being cancer-free that even I hadn't realized to the degree that it affects your life until I began researching it more for the Champions website, and I am still learning every single day, and that is huge. So the title is Don't Be a Victim. And, we all have days where we are not at our best for any number of reasons. When you're first diagnosed, you're in shock. You get angry, you're fearful, the unknown, what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I mean, there's a plan. You could have a plan in place, but as everyone knows, a plan is good, but it might not necessarily work. And you just have to go day by day, step by step, and be diligent about yourself and taking care of yourself and doing the medical, all that stuff when you're in acute treatment, and to get through it. And once that you are through acute treatment, after your mind and your body and your spirit begins to heal, and I'm not saying that it's X is a certain number of days, because every single person is different. I don't know if I could tell you when that began for me. Some days I don't know if it has. So you have to really pay attention to what your body, how you feel, how you're thinking, what your spirit feels like. But when you're in that transition period, it's really a time to re-examine yourself and your life. And you have to, it's a time to choose between being a victim of the circumstance that you found yourself in and stay on this, running these laps around the track of woe is me, because you're not getting anywhere. You're just chasing, I'd say you're chasing your tail, but I know I don't have a tail, and it's just a saying, but you're literally just going around and around and around, and you're not getting any place. So it's hard to break that habit. It's because you've been victimized by this disease called cancer, and it takes so much from you, and it's hard to look at it as something that you can gain something from. But you can find a way to use your experience to become a better person, to begin a new life, to put your past in the rear view mirror and go forward and create your new life. Be empowered to change. You know, of all people, I can tell you, I hate change. And I'm better than I used to be. This is better, believe it or not. And so, but once you're in that set of circumstances, you don't have a choice. And do you want to go back there? I do not want to ever go back there. But I may. That's just the reality of the situation. So you can transform your mindset. What you think, how you think, what you say is hardwiring your brain to believe what you are saying, what you are thinking, what you are saying, and you can embrace life and living because you are still alive. And we all carry baggage from our life. No one can say, they've had a perfect life, or, they have the X, Y, or Z that makes everything just the way it should be. So, everyone has baggage, and you have to choose what to hold on to and what to let go of. And that is really, I think, one of the hardest things, because so much changes in your life once you have been diagnosed with cancer, that you don't have control at that point in time, and you won't have control for a long, long time, because there are things that need to be done that you perhaps have a choice, A or B, but that control is very limited. So when you get through that, you don't be a victim. Being woe is me is being a victim. And this experience, how awful it has been, and I have been very open in my book and on these lives with what I and my family have experienced because of cancer. But I also know through conferences that we've gone to and people that we have met that in the spectrum of bad to horrible, I am nowhere near either extreme. I am somewhere in the middle. There are people who have situations that are so much worse than mine were. And that's not to say that you should minimize what you experience. Hi, Marlene. I know my hair is up because it's in between. So I'm going to wash it tonight, okay? So I am not demeaning what anyone experiences in their cancer treatment. What I'm saying is that you shouldn't make it the platform for the rest of your life, because you're better than that. And you can find some meaning in your experience to pay it back, teach or volunteer, or find a cause. I found champions because I found it unacceptable that people that were cancer-free were not getting all of the issues addressed that should be addressed. And the more I research, the more things keep coming up. And there's never been, just the last article I was reading, there's never been a scientific study that reveals what cancer-free patients, once they become cancer-free, what their quality of life is. And that's, I understand it's very hard to do because quality of life is individual to each and every person. But there are certain guidelines that, that every human being needs. You need shelter, you need food, you need a way to how shall I say, keep that stuff coming. And that's by employment. And, there are a lot of people that can't work after cancer. We lost our home and had to find another place to live. And that was just another insult to me personally, and just another cruel hit to my family that, after all that they had been through, then we have to pack and move. And we had a dog, when, of course, we were renting, and, if you're renting, landlords get to choose who is in that space. And a lot of them don't like animals. We would have been homeless had we not had a landlord that would accept an animal. And it took several months to find that. And it was, I don't know what you want to call it, luck, karma, whatever, that it was a person that we knew, that knew us before that circumstance affected our life. And they took a chance on us. And 3 years? I don't know how many years. We've been here 3 years. And it was about 3 or 4 years that we rented, and we made good on our rental agreement. Hi, Donna. I liked your LOL the other night. Sure, insult me. Even when I'm having a bad hair day. So, just living is taking a chance. You can walk out your front door in the morning and drop dead. How cheery is that? I mean, how many people do you hear go for their annual physical and the doc says, oh, you're in great health, your numbers are good, you sound good, blah, 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 and the next day they don't wake up in the morning? I mean, it's a very, very skewed view. But when you're on the other side of the bed rail as the professional, that's, a lot of things are cut and dry. And then there's a lot in between. I don't know if this is going to scare people, but when I talk to my patients, when they don't feel right, or they're worried, I say, and they're worried that no one's going to be able to help them, I say, listen. I said, this is the first rule. I said, A, you're awake and talking to me. So that means that, to me, that you have a pulse and you're breathing. So that's the first hurdle. You have vital signs. You're still alive. Everything else we can intervene, most likely, and fix. Now, you've heard my story on, the engine and the motor, how often you fix it, et cetera, et cetera. That's the other extreme. But I say to people, when I'm just in the room, or you call and one person comes into the room and you have this kind of conversation, things are going okay. If you happen to pass out or something and 50 people are standing over you, then you're not having a good day and you're getting the attention. So let's stick to the basics, the here and now. And it's kind of what you need to do when you're in that crisis, when you're in acute therapy, is deal with, in the beginning, it's every minute, it's every 5 minutes, and it gets longer and longer and longer. And that path should continue when you start to heal. And, healing, like I said, I can't tell you when it happened or if it's happened yet. But it's so gradual that's why I believe I can't tell you when it happened, because life goes on. And other people, once they see you starting to get better, once, you go back to work, and, they drift back to their life because they have lives, and, your illness was an inconvenience. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was certainly an inconvenience to me. And, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But the reality is that it happens. And the bottom line, after you're breathing and talking and done with therapy, is you get to determine what your future is like. Because now you have been through the hardest battle of your life. And so take your baggage, choose which ones you're going to carry with you, and go forward. Walk one step at a time and decide what you're going to do with this new chance. You can be empowered to do anything that you want. And it's all in your mindset. How you think to yourself, how you talk to yourself, wires your brain, and how it's going to tell you you're doing. So if you think positive, you'll be positive. If you think negative, you're gonna keep running those laps on the treadmill. Have a bad day, put it to bed. Say, okay, wasn't the greatest, tomorrow will be better. I don't think I could say that again 10 times fast. So, but, so that is my message for this Sunday night, is that you call your own shots. And, of course, to a certain degree, there are forces that none of us can interpret, and you just have to do the best you can and think positive and breathe and be awake. You could sleep a few hours a night. Don't worry, I won't think you're in trouble unless you don't wake up, and then we're in trouble. But so that was my little wisdom for the evening. It's pretty early for me. It's what is it, 9:15? You can see I'm squinting. Yes, I have bilateral cataracts thanks to 4 years and 11 months of tamoxifen, but I took the last month and got 5 years out of it. So if you ask me how I feel about having cataract surgery, I'm not very happy. That's negative. See, we all do it. But when I step back, I say it's something that can be fixed. It's not something that is untreatable. It's not something that will permanently impair me. See, I'm trying to be positive. And maybe my glasses won't be as thick. So that's a good point. So tomorrow, again, is day 60. And I'm just, I can't believe, I really, really, really can't believe it will have been 60 days since I started doing this. And so I don't know what time I'll come on because I am off, and you just never know with me. And so I will see you tomorrow night. I hope everyone is home, safe, and feeling well. And for Champions Over Cancer, I am Cathy Novicky saying good night and peace.